What's up, guys? It's Ben with 2020 election predictions, and today I'm going to look at the CNN electoral map that they just released, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. In it, you can see Joe Biden has 232 electoral votes that CNN thinks will be solid Democrat or lean to the Democrat, and they have 205 electoral votes that would be solidly or lean towards the Republicans. And they have 6 swing states here. And I frankly agree with this map a lot. But before I dive into this map completely, I just kind of want to give you an update about where I am on my YouTube channel. So let me just make this full screen. I just want to do a few announcements. So an update on the giveaway. Only one person has claimed the giveaway so far. I just want to read off the names again, and obviously y'all can skip ahead to the actual video, probably about like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Corn Dude 1000, Isabel Austin, Mark 7729, Tree Down, and Bennett Bruce. Y'all are all eligible for the $25, and only Isabel Austin has claimed it so far. And I'm gonna pull up the Venmo on my phone just to show you that I'm really doing this right here. Yeah, I hope y'all can see that. So great. All right, so that's the update on the giveaway, and I have a new subscriber goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of July. Right now, I'm at about 600, so and I'm really proud of y'all. We got to the 500 goal, and I'm growing at a pretty good rate. So that's really great, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another giveaway. I mean, I'm happy to do one, but it seems like no one's really been claiming the giveaway. So please comment in the comment section below if that's something that you want to do. And briefly, I just want to look at the channel analytics just to see if y'all are curious about these. One thing I was very surprised about is the watch time that 72% comes from non-subscribers. So if you're watching this right now and not subscribing, what are you doing? You should definitely subscribe. And one thing also that was interesting, for those of you that are subscribed, y'all should definitely turn on the notifications. That's that way when I release a new video, then you'll be notified and you can watch it right when it comes out. Normally, I like to do it every day around this like 4 o'clock time because that seems like when most of my subscribers are online. It's really cool in the YouTube analytics. Great. And then just moving forward, I just wanted to give y'all my email. Please don't spam it, but if you have any new ideas that you just don't want to put in the comment section, or if you want it to be more private, I've heard people doing Discords, people doing Patreons, or some people have asked me if I should do a social media account, and I'm happy to do all those things. I'm kind of new to the YouTube community, so I could do anything. If you want, maybe on a different channel or something, I could express more of my opinion. I try to keep my personal political beliefs away from this channel, and I hope that y'all appreciate that. And one other thing, I just want to put my Venmo here. I don't want to ask for donations, but I just bought this new microphone. I don't know if y'all can see it. And just before I get monetized, if you have some extra money around and you don't know what to do with it, I'd be happy for you to donate to my channel with, and just in the Venmo say 2020 election predictions. Just if you've been like, if you like watching the channel and you want to see more stuff. And then lastly, so my current name is 2020 election predictions, and obviously I cannot keep that name after the 2020 election. So I was wondering if y'all had any ideas for what I could change my title to, because I still want to keep on doing videos after the 2020 election. Just kind of keep on talking about politics and the 2022 election and the 2024 election. So please let me know in the comments, and we can kind of have a competition to see which one that I like the best. So moving right into the video, this is the electoral map that CNN has given us. And I think it's pretty interesting. This is the same map that 2070 to win, their consensus map. And I frankly really like this map. I think that these 6 swing states are probably right. If I wanted to add one more on the Democratic side, it would maybe be Minnesota, or maybe even New Hampshire. And then on the Republican side, it would be Georgia or Ohio. But I definitely think Georgia and Ohio do lean towards the Republicans, and Minnesota and New Hampshire lean towards the Democrats. And in a future video, I'm going to try to narrow the um, election down. Like, for example, I think North Carolina leans to the Republicans a little bit, and like Michigan leans towards the Democrats a little bit. But I'm actually really happy that in this map they have these 6 swing states, and these are the 6 states that are going to determine the election. Obviously, Donald Trump and Joe Biden do not have 270 electoral votes. The battlegrounds add up to 101. And right now, it appears as if Joe Biden has an advantage. But if Donald Trump wins all these states like he did in 2016 and in 2020 again, then he wins the election. And he really would only need North Carolina, Florida, Wisconsin, Arizona, or different combinations of that. But one thing I think is very, very interesting. So CNN typically leans to the left a little bit, and you hear this from the Trump campaign all the time. Oh, CNN's fake news, they're biased. And I think it's fairly interesting that they have this map as close as it is, because I actually think that this is maybe more favorable to Donald Trump than other electoral maps have it. I've seen some maps say that Michigan or even Pennsylvania are leaning towards Joe Biden, but they left those open. And I think one of the main reasons they did this is because in 2016 they did come out with an electoral map, and they had Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania all leaning towards Hillary Clinton. And I just don't think they want to get that wrong again. And some other states that have changed are also Iowa and Ohio. They could have included those as battleground states, but I think just because Donald Trump won that by such a hefty margin in 2016 that they included that in the lean Republican column. One thing I think is really interesting is to compare this to the last CNN poll that came out. CNN released a poll 5 days ago that had Joe Biden. This is the company that does CNN's polls, that had Joe Biden up 55 to 41. So if CNN believes in their own poll and they truly think that Joe Biden is going to win by 14 points outright, then there is no way that this map makes any sense. If Joe Biden were to win 14 points nationally, then he would sweep. He would win these states. He would win this state. He would win this state. He would win North Carolina. He would win Ohio. He would win Georgia. And he potentially could even win Texas and Iowa. I mean, a 14-point victory is something we've literally never seen in recent American politics. Ronald Reagan, in his 1984 reelection, didn't even win by 14 points when he carried 49 states. And I'm really not sure what a 14-point victory would look like. I mean, we might even see a state like Indiana go to Joe Biden or something like that. I mean, it's really just unheard of, someone winning by 14 points. I mean, in 2008 when Barack Obama had a landslide, I mean, I think he won by 7 points, and he had like 365 or 68 electoral votes. And just based on this map overall, they're only allowing Joe Biden just to get a little bit over 300 electoral votes. I guess if we add 101 to 232, we would get 333. So I mean, CNN has capped that. So what this means is that CNN does not believe in their own poll. Like, basically, they don't think that Joe Biden on election day is going to win the election by 55 points, which I think makes sense. What is interesting is this poll could be an outlier. Obviously, in May, just one month ago, Joe Biden was only up by 5 points, which is pretty reasonable. And there was a New York Times article that came out in 2019 that said Donald Trump can win the Electoral College even if Joe Biden wins as much as 5 percentage points. So even though Joe Biden's up in the popular vote, this does not reflect how close it would be on the electoral map scale. And then you see another one where Joe Biden is up by 11 points, 10 points, 9 points, 5 points. So I would definitely say this is an outlier. This has not been a great 2 weeks for the president. So I think that is reflected on here. If we scroll up to the top of the map, uh, this is the lowest Donald Trump's approval has been since January of 2019, according to this poll. So it obviously isn't a great week. And I think CNN assumes that by putting out this map, that Donald Trump is going to improve, that his approval numbers are not going to remain that low. And just talking a little bit about this poll too, I think one reason why CNN isn't totally bought into this poll, and if they were more bought into this poll, then their map would look different, because you can't have Joe Biden winning by 14 points and them actually believing it and have this electoral map. It simply just doesn't make sense. Joe Biden or Donald Trump tweeted on June 8th that he thinks the CNN poll is a fake poll and is a suppression poll, similar to the polls that had him down a lot in 2016. And while I don't necessarily buy into this narrative that CNN was purposely trying to make this poll very skewed against the president, I do think that Donald Trump has a point, and he hired his own polling company, which is a Republican-leaning polling company. So I want y'all to realize that. But in this letter, it basically said that this is a very skewed poll. They only have there's only 25% Republicans in this poll, and then also they use like registered voters, not likely voters, which is going to skew the poll a little even more differently. And lastly, that they kind of added the questions about race relations before they might have asked, who do you want for president? And this could have skewed the poll a little bit differently. And one thing that's interesting from this poll is actually the only place where Donald Trump was ahead of Joe Biden was in terms of the economy. And this has been pretty steady across the board. So the one thing that Donald Trump's pollsters ask is like, well, maybe if you would have asked questions about the economy first, then Donald Trump would have done better. But if you lead the question about race relations and George Floyd's death, that this is going to bias these results. In conclusion, obviously polls don't really matter. It's just kind of an indication of where the race is now. And CNN isn't the only poll that has shown that in the last few weeks that Donald Trump's popularity has gone down. A Gallup poll had Donald Trump at, I think, 38 or 39% approval. And there's been other polls done where Donald Trump is down by double digits. I don't think he's as far down as 14 points. I think the Real Clear Politics average is 8 or 9 points, which I think is more reasonable. And I do think that Donald Trump will improve. And CNN is telling us, even if they aren't saying it outright, that Donald Trump is going to come back. And it's going to be a lot closer come election day. I think one lesson that we learned time and time again is that voters have short-term memories, and while these protests that are related to George Floyd's death and police brutality in general might last longer than just the month of June, I don't know if it's going to be the most important issue come election day, because if it is, then I do think that will really hurt Donald Trump, and that Donald Trump would probably lose the election. But if the 2020 election is justified on the economy, for example, then Donald Trump would win, presumably, because more people trust Donald Trump with the economy. Anyway, I hope y'all like this video, and I'll be looking at other news outlets when they come up with their electoral maps. CNN just came out with theirs, and I'll do an updated video if they change this map in any way. For example, if there's more polls that come out at Joe Biden ahead, then I would assume that they would maybe change some of these battleground states to lean Democrat, or maybe even make Georgia or Ohio a battleground state. So thank y'all for watching, and be on the lookout for a new video tomorrow. Thanks, guys.